Welcome back to my channel at The Movie Optimist, where I try and find the silver linings in even the worst of films. I want to briefly talk about the fact that Stranger Things is releasing an animated show, I think like next month, called Tales from 84, and it's an animated series that's supposedly canon that takes place in between the events of season 2 of Stranger Things and season 3. And I see everybody up in arms about how this is breaking canon, because never in season 4 or 5 were the events of this new canon animated show addressed. So it's like, what? So everything that happens in this show happens and then they just never talk about it again? Like, it just seems like it's breaking canon, yada yada yada. I hear the complaints and I get it. I totally get it. And if you're a person that is like a canon snob where everything has to tie up or you're just super unsatisfied, then sure, you're probably gonna have a lot of problems with this show. But for me, this is my favorite show of the last 10 years. The mix of 80s nostalgia and music and costumes and the love of Ghostbusters and all things movies that came out in that time, with kids battling aliens with really lovable characters. It was just a perfect concoction of everything I love. Just these big grand adventures that don't take themselves too seriously. They're not too horrific, but they have horrific things in it, with a bunch of likable characters and a lot of great action and great music. It was a show that I would make if I got the budget to make a show. Like, this is exactly what I would do. And I was really, really heartbroken when this show ended, because it has stuck with me for so long. It was around when I first moved out on my own and I was terrified of being on my own, and season 1 dropped and it took my mind off of all of my fears for just a little while. And I always knew, no matter what was happening in my life, no matter how hard my life was, no matter how stressed I was, it was always another season of Stranger Things coming out. And I thought that show captured the idea of youth and friendship and drifting apart so beautifully. And it was really hard on me watching that final episode in the movie theater with my friend, knowing that I was never going to see this cast and crew again. So I gotta tell you, the fact that we're getting something with this cast and crew, and sure, it's different actors voicing these people, but it's still them. It's still these characters and more adventures with them. I'm just excited that we're getting something. I'm excited that we're getting more stories with these kids. Even if it's gonna be breaking canon, in my head, I'll just consider it an Elseworlds tale about the same crew that went through something a little bit different outside of canon. I don't care. I'm happy that we're getting more, because they have been kind of like my crutch and my lifeline for the last 10 years. And I've just loved hanging out with these people. And I look at it like the show Supernatural that ran for like 4,000 seasons over the course of 600 years. There were seasons that were not that good of that show, and there were episodes within those seasons that were outright awful. But I always tuned in because I loved watching the two Winchester brothers hang out. I just liked being with them and hanging out with them and feeling like I was part of the crew for a little while. And even if the episode was awful, their dynamic was still magnetic and made me enjoy watching it. And that's how I feel with this animated show. I don't care if it breaks canon. I'm just happy I get to spend a little bit more time with them, and I'm so grateful that Netflix is giving me that. So yeah, I'm absolutely going to tune in and check this show out and see what they're going to have to offer, because in a lot of ways this show is like my happy place, if you want to call it that. But what say you guys? Are you excited to be getting more Stranger Things? Are you one of those people that you think, fuck them, they're breaking canon, it's not going to make any sense, I'm not watching this, they're not bringing back the cast of the show to voice these actors, yada yada yada, and you're just finding all these reasons to complain? Wouldn't it just be easier to just be happy it's coming? Like, it seems so much more stressful to just be stressed about it, where you could just be like, fuck it, I'm just going to enjoy it for what it is. I don't know. Let's talk about it in the comments down below, and as always, guys, have a fantastic rest of your week, and I can't wait to talk to you about this show when it finally drops next month.